All right, I think he broke the internet. Hey, this is Dan, and I'm breaking down Alex Hormozi's $100 million money models launch. And I've been going through kind of this series here. Again, the reason why I do these videos is just so I can remember, teach the team, also learn more stuff, and then remember, like most of it's just for memory to look back, and then hopefully someone can get some information from this content and use it. I know we use it, so the reason why I put this up here so I can look back and rewatch it because sometimes in the time of a launch, it's so moving so fast you don't really get to see things. So me documenting these journeys like I did with Dean Graciosi and Tony Robbins mastermind launch that did about $30 million in the first, I think it was like the first day or first couple days. But Alex Hormozi surpassed that dramatically. In fact, I think he did a Guinness Book of World Record of the fastest selling book of all time in the nonfiction book category or something like that. I think Henry Styles was, or Harry, I don't know, let me look at this. Let me look at the book. Okay, so Prince Harry was the only other one that ran it faster. So let me show my screen real quick. So I just took a couple pictures here. So $100 million money models right here, 1.6 million copies sold, and then Prince Harry, the one before it was 1.4. Barack Obama was before that. Becoming was Michelle Obama, and then Bill Clinton was down there. Um, and I got this picture from online, so I just sharing this with you guys. So the reason, again, I just do this so I can share this information with you guys. I'm like sweating, just got out the shower, sweating. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the launch. I actually purchased the $6,000 offer that he had, and so let me just break down kind of the pages that came after. So let's look real quick. Let's jump into my screen here and show you Alex Hormozi's process here so you can see it all. Okay, so this is here. This is my channel here. And let's go to Alex Hormozi. Okay, so let's look at his. And yesterday he launched it. So I'm not going to go through it all. He'll probably leave it on his page. But the idea here is that we wanted to look at this, see how it did. Look, all this stuff right here is crazy. Obviously, it went crazy yesterday. Um, so 1 million people watched over yesterday. So that was a really, really big thing. I think at peak they had about 113 people, 113,000 people live. And what's really, really interesting, now I don't want to go through all the stuff here, but he gave away the thing for free. And then at the end, he basically pitches a $6,000 offer, which if you go back to one of my videos, I talk about him selling a $5,000 offer, which the money would just go crazy on that, right? The process would go crazy on that. So he and so at like 50 minutes, he pitches his free stuff, which obviously he always does. And then here I'll just let it run a second just so I can find the next stage. Okay, there you go. So right here, very interesting. Okay, this is a number right here in case you guys are paying attention to this. This number right here is massive. In case you don't know it, this is at scale. This is the numbers that we look at. This is actually a number that I'm very, very I always look at it. I'm like, okay, cool. If we want to make this much money or this many clients, this is how many people we have to get. Like we're going to convert about 2 to 3% of our audience. And Hormozi said he converted 12%, which is crazy. And I bet that's because of his brand. So I'm not going to go through the whole launch or anything, but I will go through go.acu.acq.com and I'll just show you kind of like the page. I think it's, wait, hold on. Let's see here. Okay, so I'll just go through this page real quick. Let me pause this. Okay, so when you go to this, I'm going to take it by order. So when you go to this page right here, then you go here, and this is the purchase page. So this is the page right here where you go and purchase whatever you're going to purchase. And it shows you the playbooks that he's going to give away, all that good stuff. And that's cool, virtual implementation. But if you look at what he really gives you, it's really just like nothing, to be honest with you. That's like fulfillment wise, there's nothing on here besides information. So he's selling the information for 6 grand. He packages or he does this as um like donating books to someone, but what he's really selling is the information, right? So he's just selling and so like to fulfill on this, it's probably like the fulfillment cost on this is probably not crazy, because he just needs to redeem. They just need to redeem the 199 physical copies, but we have to pay for the shipping for those copies anyway. So like that sucks, right? So I don't know if I'm gonna actually send the 99 copies or whatever. But no less, right? Like so. He's trying to sell these books here and at $6,000 a piece. That's amazing. I actually did buy this, so I'm going to show you the second screen behind this, what happens after. And let's see what's inside of it, the offer. 12 playbooks in one binder. Uh, okay, so the first system you get is the 100 leads implementation. Okay, cool. From ads to branding. Second one is the sales implementation. Okay, good. Delivery. Okay, everything you need to grow a business, basically. Profit system. Our custom AI. So it's a AI on Alex Hormozi's thoughts. Plus, you get the implementation workshop, which I imagine is going to probably be another virtual workshop where he tries to sell the $18,000 offer, which I would do. I would 100% do. If I'm him, get the 6,000 people to push up to the 18,000 and shoot, that's crazy. So anyways, that's what he's probably doing there. So then you go here. This is what you get, hard copy. And because I purchased it live, I'm actually going to get the launch playbook. So if you guys want these books and you want me to like kind of break it all down for you guys, and you want me to package this for you guys, give you guys the books, just comment book, and I will give it to you. That's cool. And then I'll also give you the breakdowns of these things. Again, I do this for me. I don't do this to, these videos to make any money. I'm actually just doing it so my team can benefit and also I can remember what we're doing at the time where we're doing it. So once you go through here, then it goes to this page. So I just purchased, and once I purchase, then it tells you pay for $3,000 more. You get access to me, my team, other business owners, and then 6 other live virtual intensives. So I'm assuming in these 6 live virtual intensives, based on his offers, his virtual intensives are probably invites to become an acquisition.com portfolio company, meaning he comes in and invests in your company. So um, I'm not gonna play too much of this. Yep. Let me just go through this. I actually will just go through it. You have the HQ and workshop, need the HQ AI. Now, on that special offer that comes from my webinar for the right business owners. So I have something to invest. Part of the reason I'm doing this bundle is because I'm trying to break into this world record and selling more books is how I do that. But here's the real reason behind the record. I want to put the book in the hands of every entrepreneur in the United States. 36.5 million entrepreneurs. That's my active goal. World record is just a milestone on the way there. And this launches my opportunity to do it. And that's only important for you because I'll explain why I'm doing something that I've never done before and will likely never do it. So here's what I would do. I want to incentivize you to buy or donate 800 more books. That's $24,000. But I'll create the first 6,000, what you already spent toward it. So that takes you to $18,000. And you can grab them for only $3,000 more today. Basically, free day times 6, right? Which is less than what you just paid for the playbooks. And so then you just have 5 more monthly payments of $3,000 and then it stops. All right, so this is continuity forever. It's just an installment plan. Primarily because I don't have the manpower to handle a bunch of phone calls. And I think because this is going to be a checkout rather than a phone call, we will get far more qualified people. People who get immediately a decision about something like that. It's just inside you. Okay, so he's gonna credit one, and then you pay another 6 months, right? Pay this time 6 months. First of all, let's see what he's gonna get. ACQ insights from this. Okay, my team charges 35K a day. I charge 135K a day. Okay, cool. Virtual intensive, exclusive network, behind the scenes business intel, stuff he doesn't talk about publicly. This group of one of his client. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, cool. So when you don't do that, then you go here and then it basically tells you unlock access. This is what you get. Plus this, plus that, plus this. And then all this other stuff, right? So check your email, do the workshop first, then the playbooks arrive, then this, right? So that's cool. That's actually cool. Yeah, this is actually cool. So he makes you do the implementation workshop first to tell you which one to work on. And then when the playbooks arrive, focus on the biggest one. Okay, that's cool. And then it goes to the onboarding, which, I'm not going to put a whole onboarding there. But the idea here is that he's onboarding these people right away so he can dive in. I do have access to the insights of it and all the insights. If you guys want me to give you the books, I can't give you the inside because he's going to give it away anyway. So, yeah. But I will now I'm going to stop here. I'm going to break down some of his numbers so you guys can see through the lens that I look through as a marketer and also like a business leader, right? Is the way you got to look through these numbers so you understand how to use these numbers because our numbers fundamentally are the same kind of numbers as him. Obviously, he has lower fulfillment costs. One of the things that I'm probably thinking out loud here, just for our business particularly, we do discounts, right? So we do discounts. He does not do discounts, which is very, very intriguing. So if you think about it, even if we do a, let's say, a $15,000 thing and then pay in full, we actually do 13,000, we lose $2,000 right there every single time. Times, let's say we do it 10 times a month. That's 2,000, that's $20,000 a month compounded. That's $250,000 a year that we're missing out on just because we want someone to take action because they want a discount. We don't, I mean, if we just change that thing right there, we'd be $250,000 more profitable. Just think about that. And if you do it at any stage in the funnel, meaning our offer specifically, then that number compounds. And so what I'm starting to see in our own business is that more discounting actually like affects the brand, the profit, the team, the morale, the marketing spend that we can spend, like all that trickles down and pushes down the more we try to put more and more discounts on things and more like cutting our costs, taking the price down and then bringing our cost up. And so like the margin's starting to compress. Whereas what Hormozi's doing is he's increasing the margin and decreasing the cost, right? So then there's that profit margin right there. So he can have a huge boatload of cash that he can reinvest back into marketing and dominate the industry, right? So let's break down. I'm going to show my screen here and I'll be quick with this because he is actually doing another one at the time of this training right here. He's actually doing another one, another pitch, repitch. I'll call it a repitch. But let's just break down some numbers here. So I'm gonna look at this, and I want you guys to see this here. So this is kind of his event as it stands here as a whole. Okay. And let me unpin and there we go. So if you look at this here, this is kind of his thing here. It's kind of his thing. I don't know why it's not. Let me zoom in. Okay, so let's just talk down the journey. Okay, over here was the marketing, right? This was the marketing. Over here, he did the marketing, right? This was all marketing stuff over here. And then this right here was kind of like a nurture thing. Nurture. This is to get people to know about him. And so by the time of the event, as I'm saying this right now, he said he spent $4 million on ads, right? On ads and made 6 million um, cash back. Okay. So he made 6 million cash back, which is great, right? So you make $2 million back. It was a 60-day window. So it was kind of like a 60-day window. So he was making a million a month for 2 months, right? Um, and he said at some point he was spending $500,000 a day, which is amazing. And by the time he got to the event, he sold 70,000 copies. Now, remember, if you look back at, I'll talk these through here. He was selling the upsell for the book for $30. And if you get 15 more, it's $500, right? So if you do 15 divided by 500, that's $30 per book. So I saw a thing there that said the average cart value was about 352. And I don't know how to do the math on that, but I would just say out of this, he probably had anywhere from like 30 to 50,000 customers, right? And so he sold 700,000 copies from 620,000 registrants. And he had said he had 620,000 registrants for this event. Okay. And so if you have 620,000 registrants, 7,000 copies sold, let's just say on the low end, he sold 30,000 customers. So let's say hypothetically he sold 30,000, right? So we'll divide that by 30K, and that will tell you how many, um, what was the percentage, right? So let's say 62, actually you do it the opposite way. You do 30K divided by 620. That would give you the percentage times 100. He sold 4. 4% of the audience, right? 4% of them bought this book up front, right? 4% of the audience. So if we divide 30K, that's 4%. If it was higher, then it was a higher number. So let's just assume 4 to 6% right here bought this. Okay. Became customers. 4 to 6% of these people right here became customers because he had a free launch. Then he upsold some people. So 4 to 6% became customers, which if you looked at the numbers that I showed you right before, his metric was somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 5%. So he wanted 3 to 5% of the registrants to purchase something. So that takes us to here. So now at the event, we had 620,000 registered, about 120,000 or so live. So you would do 113,000 divided by 620. That would give you about an 18% live ratio. So he had about 18% live, which is pretty awesome, to be honest with you. Of that big of a caliper of event, I thought it was going to be a lot less. I thought it was going to be like 15%. But again, over time, it came out to be 1 million people viewed that thing in one day. So that's pretty crazy. At some point, 1 million people stopped by to see the offer, right? Stopped by to see his pitch. Okay. And then his first pitch was a $6,000 offer, which is what I showed you earlier. His second pitch was an $18,000 offer, which I showed you after that too. You saw the thank you page offer that he upsold some people. Now, I have a couple buddies that actually did buy the $18,000 thing. So that right there is a $24,000 offer. And after this event, he sold, and I have a picture. I took a picture of it. But he sold at the end of the first day. He sold 2.7 million copies of the book because if you do 18K divided by 800 books, it will give you somewhere in the neighborhood of $30. 6K, 200 copies, that's $30. So all the books were $30, right? And so if you just multiply this, right, which would be 2.74, 2.745, 887 times 30, that tells you how much money he made that day, that one day. So he made in that one day about $80 million. So yesterday, at the time of this recording, he made about $80 million in revenue, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal, by the way. It's a crazy number to have in one day, right? I think he did that. And today, what he's doing a repitch. So if I just stop sharing this, you'll see he's doing another call to action here. Let me stop share. And let me share my screen here. You'll see here on his video here, if you go back to him, he's doing a repitch right now. See? And now he's at 2.8 million. So now I'm assuming the reason why he's trying to do this thing here is he's trying to go to 3 million. What? Because if you do 3 million copies at $30 a piece, that's $100 million launch. And he did that in like roughly 60 days. And that's what I'm assuming he's trying to get in here. He's trying to get that 3 million copies sold within, 45 days, which would be probably one of the biggest launches in history. And I think that's the second Guinness Book of World Record he's trying to do. So 10,000 people are watching right now, which, again, this is all so you can understand how this concept works, right? All these concepts work together cohesively so you can, I mean, nobody watching this is probably going to want to do this high of a number. But if you do, I'm showing behind the scenes of why he's doing this things. Okay. So on that note, I wanted to break down Hormozi's $100 million launch. And I did buy it. So if you guys want the book or want a book, simply just comment book and I'll get it over to you guys. And if you want to recap, I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to download those playbooks and I'm going to record. I'm going to go back and break down the pitch and break down the offer a little bit more. I'll do that, but I'll probably unlist it. And then I will, if you guys want it, just comment book. I'll give you guys access to that. And then the playbooks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just make a copy of all of them. And then I will give you guys that too. It's, I'll just make it like a digital copy you guys can access. But anyways, all right. See you guys in the next training. Peace.